Day 29, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the fact that God made you uniquely you.
Live original, people.
Live original. This is the whole message that I've been preaching pretty much my whole life. But before I was preaching it, my dad was really preaching it to me before I believed it. Whenever I was young, you probably heard me tell this story. I so badly wanted a nickname, and my dad was giving everyone around me cool nicknames except for me. I was just Sadie, and I was like, you know what? I want something more. I want something to be known as. And he said, Sadie, you're just you. You're just Sadie. And finally one day he said, Sadie, you are the original. And at the time, I didn't really think that was that cool of a word, but it was more than a word. It was really what it stood for. He was basically saying, Sadie, you don't need anything else to make you cooler than who God made you to be. Who he made you to be is enough, and it's actually the best thing that you can be. And so I've been kind of spending my life telling people that same message, that who God made you to be is exactly who you're supposed to be. You don't need anything else in this world to add to that. You don't need to try to be anyone else to make you better than that. Who you are is enough, and it's amazing because God created it, and he created you in his image. So that's just wonderful. So I can't wait for Steph to talk to you more about this subject today. I just have to read this challenge because it's kind of funny.
Go for it.
I said, I love dancing. However, I'm not the best dancer in the world. If you turn on the music, I might not bust the trendiest moves, but you better believe I'm going to bust a move. Christian, however, is not a good dancer from the world's terms. I totally roasted you in this book, but I love his dancing because they are his dances and they make me laugh the hardest. So what are your dance moves? What is the thing that brings you confidence and joy in your life? So some of you might just like to bust a move today after you get done with this Devo.
So the challenge is I challenge you to try to be as good as I am at dancing.
All right, bust a move. Wow.
Word.
That has proved everything that I was preaching.
Hey friends, welcome back to the 90-Day Challenge. Today, I am excited to talk to you about how God made you uniquely you. And if I'm honest, this is an area of my life that I have probably wrestled with the most, more than any other struggle. I also think it's really funny that I have worked for a ministry called Live Original for the last few years. And every single day I write the word Live Original, whether it's typing it in my email or writing it down in my notebook, because the idea of living original was such a difficult thing for me to truly believe and to truly take to heart for a lot of years of my life. A few years ago, this belief that I had to change who I was led me down a really dark path. And if I'm honest with you, I ended up having to completely pause my job, give up a lot of things, and I found myself in a treatment center wrestling with an eating disorder because I had believed that I had to change who I was. And I'll never forget walking through that season. There was one day that things started to change for me. It's the day that I really believe that God got a hold of my heart and started to shift things for me. One of my counselors was in the room with me, and she asked me, why do you think that you have to change who you are to become acceptable? And I just started to unravel the lies that I had believed for a really long time. And I have an amazing family that loves me. I have amazing friends, amazing community. But at the bottom of all of these lies was this lie that I started to believe that I was unlovable. And when I started to truly believe and embrace that God loves me for me, and that day things started to change for me. When I started to believe that, I started to see myself through the eyes of God. I started to see that I was loved, and that because I am loved by him, everything in my life started to change. I started to really believe that I was made in his image, that I have value, that I have purpose, that I don't need to change who I am, and that I am uniquely created by the God of the universe who made the earth. He made me, and he loves me. And so today, I just want to challenge you that if you're wrestling with this belief that God made you uniquely you, I just challenge you to ask yourself, do you believe that God loves you first? And if you can believe that he loves you, then I truly believe that you'll start to see yourself through the eyes of a good father, that he made you with a purpose. I pray today that you would just cling to the words of Psalm 139 that says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that he knit you together in your mother's womb, that he knew you before you even stepped foot here on this earth. That's how much he loves you, and that's how uniquely created you were, that his thumbprint is on your life. If you're wrestling with that today, I challenge you, go read Psalm 139 and let the words of the Father sink into your heart.